As you are all aware, today is 1st September 2022, which marks the beginning of Ember month through to December. FRSC has the statutory mandate of ensuring safety of lives and properties of road users. But these responsibilities become more demanding at this period of the year due to increased human and vehicular traffic. This press briefing has become significant at this particular time due to the tendency for drivers to overload their vehicles, indulge in avoidable night trips, violate speed limits, commit learn indiscipline, and disregard other traffic rules and regulations. These violations often heighten the speed and fatalities of road traffic crashes within the period, thus taxing the capability of members of the corps and, in fact, other stakeholders who are concerned about the insidious obstructions, deaths, and injuries caused by this violation, as well as loss of man-hour occasioned by the delays. As part of our efforts to deal with these challenges, the Corps came up with the idea of Ember Month special patrols and mega public enlightenment rallies in motor parks, which involve massive deployment of personnel and logistics to motor parks for aggressive sensitization and the roads, particularly around identified black spots for the containment of the perennial traffic gridlocks and the accompanying hazards. This year, therefore, presents yet another challenge that we come out to tackle head-on with commitment and determination, as evidenced by the comprehensive measures we have put in place to address the dreadful experience. Towards this exercise, we embarked upon elaborate studies along the identified black spots to determine the immediate and remote causes of the gridlocks, mobilize relevant stakeholders to collectively address the challenges, and embark on public enlightenment programs. The Corps also came up with the idea of enhancing patrol operations by ensuring massive deployment of personnel and logistics along the major highways in order to minimize road crashes and achieve zero fatalities during the period. The unprecedented support received from President Muhammadu Buhari, which led to the injection of over 300 operational, administrative, and medical rescue vehicles and bikes, which have already commenced full operational activities, will in no small measure aid the envisioned success in this year's operations. As such, I would like to appreciate Mr. President for his continued support and his commitment. For his continued support and commitment to the actualization of a safer motoring environment in the country. May I also appreciate the Secretary to Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, for his supervisory role and dedication to the growth and advancement of the Corps. Distinguished gentlemen of the press, let me re-emphasize here that the choice of the theme for this year's campaign, which is avoid speeding, overloading, and unsafe tires to arrive alive, was deliberately fashioned to bring to the fore the collective nature of the campaign. of the campaign and the need to collaborate efforts by all relevant stakeholders to bring the rate and fatality of the crashes within and beyond the period to the barest minimum. So far, so good. Operational and educational activities are currently on course, and we are giving it maximum supervision to ensure that the present momentum is sustained throughout the period and beyond. In view of our findings that speed-related road crashes account for over 70% of the causative factors of road crashes, the Corps has initiated measures of speed control in collaboration with various stakeholders. Notable among these efforts is the introduction of speed limiting device as approved by Standard Organization of Nigeria, with effective enforcement going on since 2015, and its compulsory usage by commercial vehicle drivers. This resolve was orchestrated to ensure that speed-related crashes and the fatalities they cause are adequately reduced. Worthy of note, again, is the alarming rate of crashes and fatalities that occur as a result of night trips. The recent record of these crashes and fatalities occurred on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, a situation that has become worrisome and demanding of urgent need to bring it to a halt. During these ember months, travelers must, as much as possible, avoid night trips due to poor visibility, excessive speed, and other unhealthy driving behaviors that are associated with driving during dark hours on Nigerian roads. We must emphasize here that this is advisory. We are not stopping anybody to undertake a night trip, but we advise you, if it is not absolutely necessary, you avoid it. I say this because traveling at night is a risk factor to all road users, and this must be totally avoided to save lives. Part of our strategies towards safer road use during the festive season include stronger collaboration with relevant stakeholders, such as National Union of Road Transport Workers, National Association of Road Transport Owners, National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas, NUPEN, PTD, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, and the ACOMORAN, that is Association of Commercial Motorcycle Riders of Nigeria. We shall also ensure a friendly collaboration with sister agencies and the military where applicable. We have engaged Articulated Vehicle Drivers Union to restore sanity at the Gwagwalada interchange. Gentlemen of the press, kindly permit me to buttress this text of address by revealing to you that as a critical public service agency and custodian of huge national data infrastructure, the decisive role that the Federal Road Safety Corps plays in advancing national security through the information generated by the National Vehicle Identification Scheme portal, that is the NVIS portal, cannot be overemphasized. These and many other valid factors have propelled the Corps into becoming more committed to ensuring that all categories of vehicles, including motorcycles, are duly registered, and the information about both the owners and their motorcycles uploaded into the NVIS database, that is the National Vehicle Identification Scheme database. Part of the effort we have put in place towards achieving a robust data collection is the ongoing nationwide special enforcement operations on unregistered motorcycles, which commenced at the beginning of August. Suffice it to state that the clampdown, which is a timely response to the directive issued by the Presidency through the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, will no doubt boost national information and enhance intelligence gathering and criminal investigation amidst the ongoing fight against insecurity in the country. You will recall that on the 1st of August 2022, I directed sector commanders nationwide to commence with immediate effect aggressive clampdown on unregistered motorcycles. This clampdown has become more necessary at this critical time of our national development, due largely to the manner with which criminals have continued to use unregistered motorbikes to perpetuate all sorts of criminal activities, such as banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of antisocial behaviors. Since the commencement of the special operation, the Corps has recorded a great deal of achievement, which will certainly be used for adequate intelligence in the long run. Expectedly, the Corps has been able to successfully arrest over 13,008 riders, impounded 2,823 motorbikes, record new registration of a total of 36,884 motorcycles in that operation, and completed the upload of 101,859 bikes into the National Vehicle Identification Scheme database from the date of commencement of the operation. These successes recorded were partly triggered by the aggressive public enlightenment ongoing campaign on the importance of the registration of motorcycle to national security. In addition to the aforementioned, the Corps conducted the operation with having about 849 engagements with the State Board of Internal Revenues nationwide during the period. Let me also reveal that the enforcement exercise, a huge number of motorcycles were arrested without number plates, totaling about 2,389. Let me at this point state that while at the helm of affairs, the Federal Road Safety Corps will not relent in its drive to ensure proper and timely registration of motorcycles, as this effort will certainly complement those made by the federal government to curb any form of criminality. As part of long-term strategies of total coverage of Nigerian roads, the Corps will ensure it achieves full coverage of Lagos, Ibadan, Oyo axis, as well as Abuja, Kaduna, Kano road, so that every 10-kilometer distance will have a patrol post and a standby team to ensure ease of movement. May I also most profoundly express my deepest appreciation to the press for your steadfastness in conveying the message of safety to the motoring public, and further admonish you not to relent, as road safety is indeed a collective responsibility that requires the action of the entire citizens. I also wish to appreciate all those that have continued to stand by the Corps in the task of reducing the rate and fatalities of road crashes in the country to the barest minimum, and assure all FRSC stakeholders and indeed entire Nigerians that we remain committed to transforming the Corps and positioning it on the path that will hasten the realization of the corporate mandate of the Corps. I thank you all. Yes, the speed limiter process is an ongoing thing. It's not a one-off process, because I think what you get to that stage where probably there will be a government law that vehicles that are being imported must come with installed speed limiter. We are working on that. Probably when we get to that, the only challenge we have is those that have already come into the country before that time. If you take a visit to some of our commands, if you take time, you see that enforcement going on. Yes, we still impound vehicles, particularly commercial vehicles, and ensure that they install speed limiting device. It's ongoing. You can make a check on your own, and maybe you can give us feedback on that. And then we are also receiving requests from so many vendors that are registered with Standard Organization of Nigeria. We are vetting them, and we are giving them the permission to install the speed limiting devices. So it's an ongoing process. It's not a one-off, and we'll continue to enforce it. AIT, you talk of drug abuse. Okay, NTA, yeah, sorry, NTA, you talk of drug. Yes. The issue of abuse of substances is a multi-agency issue. You know, we have NAFDAC, we have NDLEA. Our own is to ensure that people who are under the influence of those drugs are not allowed to be behind the steering. They are not allowed to drive vehicles. We are especially at the motor parks. We have been doing rallies, and we always go with alcoholizers to test the drivers, and we do that on the highway also. We have placed order for quite a large quantity of alcoholizers that we are going to use for this end of year. Though it's not only limited to end of year patrol. It's always, and we work with the union, with the transport unions, to ensure that they don't allow their drivers who are under influence to drive, and then also to ensure that they don't sell those things in the motor park. They don't sell alcohol or drugs in the motor park. So those are the efforts that we are making, and we also want to appeal to the press also, because you reach the public easily, to also assist us in this line. Yes, you can. I know NTA, you are so big and everywhere. You can help us to sponsor some of these programs. Talk to the people, but we'll continue to do our work. We'll continue to test, and we'll continue to enforce. In fact, if you are caught under influence, apart from the fines, there are other things that we do. We also send those ones for evaluation, because a normal person will not take alcohol and be driving. So, we pray that we reach a stage in this country where somebody who has taken alcohol he himself say he will not drive. You know, that's what is obtainable in advanced countries. You don't take alcohol and drive. You ask your friend. In fact, if you go out, two of you, only one person will drink. The other one that will drive the vehicle will not drink. So we hope we get to that stage, and we need the assistance of all stakeholders so that we can achieve that. Thank you. Punch. You're okay. This night trip, yes, is advised. That's what we say is advisory. We can't stop you from taking your night trip. But we advise you, and I don't think that will cause much congestion, because very few vehicles actually undertake that night trip. And the danger of that is, in most cases, when the crash happens, nobody will even know, because at a point the vehicle will be alone on the road. The driver can lose control and run into the ditch or into the bush, and nobody will even know that a crash has taken place. So that's why it is always advisable to travel in the daytime. If something happens to you, even the response time to come and assist you, if nobody has even seen you, you don't expect any assistance. Most times, if those things happen, it is only in the morning that when vehicles are passing, they will notice that something has gone wrong somewhere, and then they will check and then offer the assistance. So it's advisory, actually. We do everybody, there's freedom of movement 24/7. Yes, so it's just mere advisory. Yes, thank you. AIT, color trafficators, colored. Well, any trafficator, any signal that will not show, that will not indicate, is illegal, is not allowed. Now, what happened is we import vehicles from different countries, especially this Tokumbo. Some of them are not even up to the standards. They find their way inside. Now, some countries have, it's just like the American standard and the UK standard. The UK standard, the trafficator is yellow. The American standard, the trafficator is red. Now, you also have some countries that they have some colored trafficator, but when you put on the trafficator, the cover will turn to red. You see it clearly. So that is the standard, but those that probably stopped and you didn't see or you didn't check, maybe the bulbs are not working. And in any case, we have what we call the safe distance that you always keep because of such incidences that the person may just stop suddenly without the signals working. Even the normal signal can fail. So, but then where we see that those trafficators were painted, or they put stickers on them and change the color, and then the direction is not clearly indicated when you are turning, that is a violation. That's a violation. And if we get those ones, in fact, we have been arresting those kind of vehicles that have changed some of the configuration on their vehicles, either the plate number, the trafficator cover, the headlamp. There are so many kind of violations. So it's illegal for one to paint the indicator light on his vehicle. It's illegal. Where we see those ones, we'll get them, we'll arrest them. We'll continue to enforce those the traffic rules. Passengers in front of the vehicles, we arrest them. But what we want to advise even the road users is, when you have such thing, you refuse to board the vehicle. Tell the driver to go that you cannot enter. But with us overloading, you overload your vehicle. We will arrest them. I know there is that violation. Maybe, I don't know, is it attitude of Nigerians? Yes, it's attitude. Because you can't say that there are not enough vehicles, then you overload your vehicle. We arrest them. If you go through our data, our arrest data, you see overloading. And that is why, if you notice my discussion here, we've talked extensively on this overloading. That's why it is even part of the team. That violation is part of the team for the Ember Month. So we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to arrest them. I will continue to sanction them. We have given directive to our commanding officer. There are certain officers, they should just take them to the magistrate straight, so that let them get jail time or let them be fined by a court. It will be on record. Yes, that you are an ex-convict or whatever. I don't know whether traffic offense is not a criminal offense. But at a time, it can turn to criminal offense. Leadership, collaboration with VIOs. Well, the arrangement for vehicle registration, actually, FCT, when you talk of FCT, actually, I mean VIO, mostly people are talking about the FCT. Because if you go to other states, they don't even have the VIOs. Registration of vehicles is the responsibility of the Board of Internal Revenues. They register the vehicles. Now, our responsibility actually is to produce and also to enforce the usage. That is our responsibility. We produce the plate numbers, and then we also enforce the usage of those number plates. So, VIO here in FCT, I think they are performing the function of both internal revenue service and also the function of vehicle inspection. So that is why you see, if you go to some state, you go to internal revenue service to pay for your plate number, to pay for your driver license. But FCT here, you go to the VIO because they combine the functions for them. I don't know. I know that they have Board of Internal Revenue now, FCT, but I don't know the plan they have in mind. So that is the function is clearly defined. In the FCT, when you see the enforcing, they are performing two functions: vehicle inspection and vehicle registration. We are Federal Road Safety Corps, so we can operate on any part of the country, on any public highway. So you don't expect to see VIO from Nasarawa in FCT working, or VIO from FCT going to Nasarawa to work. But we are everywhere. So that is why the VIO are working here, and you also see us here working. So that is, but the functions are clearly defined. Everyone has his function. We can't stop them from doing their work assigned to them by the FCT administration. They cannot also stop us from doing our work assigned to us by the Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act. Which other? I think that's all. Yes. Okay, logistics, bikes. Yes, I think their problem is overspeeding and then reckless driving. Is that what you are referring to?
Most of them are not fully registered. I don't know if they are part of the Okada people that
yes, they are not. They are. It's not Okada. It's motorbike riders. So we are all motorbike riders. Yes, yes, and I think those ones are registered because those are companies. They are properly those vehicles. And companies are very careful. They are very careful. They are very careful. So they ensure that they register their vehicle. But I know the challenge we have with them now is this over speeding and then at times reckless driving. And then the fact that within the city center, you don't have bikes. So we are not used to seeing bikes now. But then suddenly these people came in and they are registered and they are recognized and they operate legally because they are not considered as commercial operators carrying passengers. It's a challenge. We've experienced them having crashes, at times fatal, or even causing crashes. But we are going to contain them. We are working on them. We'll contain them. There's no. In fact, they are. We call them easy fry or small fry if we want to. So yes, I think you can be comfortable with that. We'll fix that if you have any issue with them. But they can operate. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. Suffice it to say that this is my first interaction with the press since my appointment as the